Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam and ba'd. So today we're going to talk about something incredibly important, especially for you as youth, that you need to be aware of this topic. And we're going to talk about terrorism and Islam. Terrorism and Islam. Why? Because many people today are claiming and attacking the Muslims and attacking the Muslim ideas and belief and saying that Muslims believe in terrorism. But you as youth need to have an understanding and know what the Islamic position is regarding that. That Islam is free from terrorism. Islam does not support the people who do the suicide bombs and the people who blow up other people and go into the malls and do this kind of stuff. This is facade. Those things are a disruption and they are considered wicked deeds in Islam. So again, we know the conditions for good deeds in Islam. First and foremost is what? Is that you have what? Sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the ikhlas. And then and what's the other condition? The sunnah, that we follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was free from those kind of actions. Even though people, they make cartoons, they do all kind of things to try to belittle Islam and belittle the Prophet ﷺ, meaning to make fun of Islam. They try to mock Islam and they try to destroy the image of Islam. And unfortunately, there are some Muslims who destroy the image of Islam because they have a distorted or deviant ideology which is not Islamic. That they go against Islam in their ideology. Ibrahim, you understand? Keep your head up and your eyes open. This is very important because I've heard some of you talk about this topic, so you should now talk about this topic only with knowledge so that you know that Islam is free from this. It's free from those kind of actions. Some of the evil or the ill side effects, the ill effects of terrorism and people doing bombs and people hurting other people and terrorizing them. Some of the bad effects is that it hurts the individual. It hurts the individual because obviously if someone blows himself up, they aren't harming themselves. They will destroy their life. It is a type of suicide. Also, it destroys the image of Islam. Although it does not hurt Islam. Islam is still Islam without you and without me. Islam still will exist. But it makes the image of the Muslims and the image of the beautiful religion of Islam, it distorts it in the eyes of the people. The people get a bad idea about what Islam is and what Islam means. Okay? Also, another ill effect of terrorism is that it harms the society. Whether it's a Muslim society or a non-Muslim society. It's not permissible to do these actions. And some people, they go even to Saudi Arabia, which is a Muslim country, and no one should have any doubt about that. And they go and do these actions. They kill police officers, they blow up buildings, they do all kind of evil actions that only cause harm and destruction in the society. Also, terrorism and this type of ideology, it affects the community, it affects the Muslim community, as we know what happened in Portland when the kid was going to do something bad to the festival, or all of these different events that we see. Yeah, well, regardless, it was a setup, yes, but on top of that, he was gullible enough to listen to those ideas and to be set up. A person who is straight, who stays far from those kind of ideologies and far from the way those people think, they will not be easy to set up. Why? Because they already know that those ideas are false and away from Islam. Anytime someone tells you that they want to hurt other people and that this is Islam, then you be very cautious of that person. You should stay far away from those people. And you should tell your imam to so that way the people know that this person has a deviant ideology in the community. Okay? Another important thing that we need to know about this is that terrorism is often a result of an ideology, meaning a way people think. It has to do with their belief. They believe that what they're doing is right. Either they have a political belief that supports it, or it has something to do with their aqidah, meaning their belief and their faith in Islam. You know, it has to do with their creed. Okay? So we have to know some of the roots of this kind of ideology. We know that the end result of this is that it often leads to violence. Okay, maybe it's not always an act of violence. Some people, they do it. For example, some groups, they go and they are animal rights groups, for example, and they go and they, for example, burn a building or make a protest by causing destruction to property. This is also a type of terrorism. So terrorism can be violent, and it usually leads to violence, but it also can be sort of a non-violent process. The threat to use violence, okay? The threat to use violence is also a type of terrorism. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about those people who said, you know, we have some Muslims who have deviant ideologies and who say that what they're doing is lawful, that they say that it's permissible to do these things. Allah says about those people, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah speaks about these people. He says, and when وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ, and when it is said to them, do not cause facade in the earth, meaning do not cause corruption, do not cause wickedness, do not cause chaos in the earth. They say, we were only trying to rectify the affairs of the people. We were only trying to do righteousness. We were only trying to do good. This is what they believe and what they claim. Allah says about them that this is not true. That they are the mufsidun. They are the ones who are causing wickedness in the earth, and they don't even know it. They're not even aware of it. So don't think that those people just do it just to be evil, but they do those kind of actions because they believe they're doing the right thing. They believe that they're helping Islam. They believe that they're helping Muslims. But this is incorrect, and that's why it's important for us to know what Islam is, know the proper Islam, know that Islam is complete, that it shows us that we have to have mercy, that Allah tells us in the Quran that the person who kills someone intentionally, with, unlawfully, that it is like they killed all of mankind. Okay, that is what Islam is. Islam teaches us that that we should not harm other people. Okay, and that we should have a type of cooperation with other human beings and show them the good picture and the good image of Islam. And so we have to also be aware, and I'm going to mention one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, because this also relates to this, that we have to know that there are people out there who are going to try to corrupt you. They will try to corrupt you with their ideology. There are people all around that you'll find that are trying to call you, and the Prophet ﷺ called them the du'at ala abwab al-jahannam. He said that they are the callers to the hellfire, the callers to the gates of the hellfire. That there will be people who will say, yeah, this is Islam, it's okay to do this in Islam, it's okay to lie in Islam, it's okay to steal, it's okay to kill, it's okay to hurt people. This is what they'll say. Those people are the people who are on the gates of Jahannam. They're the ones who call the people to the hellfire. Even if they look like a Muslim, even if they look like they're righteous, even if they act in other things and you see that their speech is good and they convince you, they give you a lot of ayats and hadith, but they're misusing it, especially if they're using it to support that corrupt ideology. So, in relation to this, عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال خط لنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خطا, meaning the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he drew a line in the dirt. He drew a line. ثم قال هذا سبيل الله. Then he said that this is the path of Allah. He made a straight line, and he said this is the path of Allah. ثم خط خطوط عن يمينه وعن شماله. Then the Prophet ﷺ, so he first made a line in the dirt, and he said this is the Sabil Allah. You know, this is the straight path. Then he made one out of Yameen, he made it on the right, and he made it on the left. Okay? And then what did he say? He said, هذه السبل متفرقة على كل سبيل منها شيطان يدعو إليه. So he said that these are the different paths which divide from the straight path. And on each one of these paths, there are devils which call to them. So that means it's like you have a devil here and a devil here, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's path is straight. But the other people, they're calling to go this way, and they're calling to go that way. Or they're saying, hey, there's a shortcut to Jannah, there's a shortcut to paradise, Mahmoud. So you take off your hoodie, and you pay attention. Good. Then the Prophet ﷺ ثم قرأ وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه ولا تتبعوا السبل فتفرق بكم عن سبيله ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so the Prophet ﷺ said, after that, after he drew these lines, and he said, this is the straight path, the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these are the paths of the shaitan. Then he read the ayah in the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, verily, this is my straight path. You know, the sirat al-mustaqim. So follow it. Allah orders to follow it. And do not follow the paths, like these paths, of the people who divide the religion and split the religion. And this is my advice to you, so that way you will fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is the advice, that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to do, and that is in accordance with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do. That our path is a straight path. It's a clean path. It's a path where you have no doubt. Okay? فإن الصدق تطمئن والكذب ريبة. The Prophet said that when something is truthful, when you're doing something righteous, it makes you feel good in the heart. But when you're doing something, you're lying, or you're doing something haram, or you're doing something that's prohibited in Islam, you're doing something that's deviant away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like those people who are extreme and do those evil kind of actions, then that will make you feel in your heart, you'll feel kind of a heaviness and kind of an ugliness. The Sabilullah shade will make you feel good. How do you feel when you read the Quran? Like, you feel light, you feel good, your heart feels light, you feel good. But if you are listening to music all day, you're listening to 50 Cent, you're listening to this stuff, that stuff is talking about beating him up and killing him and the girls and like this, that stuff will make your heart filthy. Okay? And it's the same with the people who have deviant ideologies, that if you listen to those kind of things, those people who are telling you, kill this person, do this, burn this down, steal this, lie about this, that will make your heart, it brings the filth and the covering of your heart. As Allah describes it, that covering of the heart. So I ask Allah the Almighty to guide us and guide you away from the Sabil al-Shayateen, the way of the devils, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our good and forgive our evil. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.